Congratulations, everybody. We got our new John Cena. We got our new Roman Reigns. And his name is Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare. Is he overrated? And how was the Royal Rumble? Well, in this video, we're going to talk all about that. But before I do, I talk about wrestling, the wrestling shows, PLEs, and the weekly ones. And then I talk about WWE 2K24. So if you like all of those stuff, give this button some love right there, because I plan to bring to you a lot more of those. Now, let's start with the Royal Rumble. How are we going to do it? Obviously, we're going to switch to our review room or whatever. Women's Royal Rumble. I plan to keep this kind of short because I'm a little late to the party. But let me just say this. In both Rumbles, one thing that really annoyed me was the fact that there was almost no spots. There was barely any spots. Many times when there was an entrance, the person would come in, do a couple of big moves, sometimes not even finishers. And then, well, they would just wait. Oh, okay, I ran out of moves to do. I ran out of spots to do. Let's wait for the clock to count down. And if this was an indie show, that was like all the wrestlers just got a hot dog and a handshake, I would have no problems with this. But this is $1 billion company now with Netflix, $5 billion. Let's remember that $5 billion deal with Netflix. And this is the kind of quality you're putting up. Like, I feel like in the last couple of years, especially when it comes to the Royal Rumble that Shane McMahon booked, and the Rumble after that, WWE forgot the E, the last one, entertainment. Oh my goodness, like what is going on here? Now, let me say my overall thoughts on the Royal Rumble, even though I'm kind of crapping on it right now, was that it's a good show. Well, it was like a 5 out of 10, maybe a 6 out of 10, maybe somewhere around there. I could even give it a 4 out of 10. The point is, though, I thought it was okay. I had fun while watching it, but it could have been a lot better. So that 5 out of 10 is just like my starting point. It could go higher, it could go lower. Let's talk about it a little bit, and then I'll give you my definitive answer. Now, Naomi, Trinity Fatu. I have not watched her at all besides the TNA match. And I really watched it a little bit, just skipping it and looking at some of the spots. But I thought that match was pretty damn good. And maybe it was because Jordynne Grace was in that match as well, because she came in here to the Royal Rumble. I gotta say, that was awesome to see with the new TNA title, which looks great. TNA is doing a better job of being AEW than AEW itself, which is kind of insane. But that's a topic for an entirely different video. Jordynne Grace was definitely one of the better entrants here. Everything she did was awesome offense-wise, and when she took moves, and especially the way she got eliminated by Bianca, was awesome. And I gotta say, the Women's Rumble in general was better than the Men's Rumble. Let's forget the names for a second. Like, everything was just better. We had more entertaining stuff going on here, I guess. Let's not forget about the names. Yeah, like the distribution of the names, the surprise entrance. There were no legends this time. No Michelle McCool, no Melina. I thought we could have used one or two of those, in my humble opinion. But yeah, I thought the Women's Royal Rumble was decent. It was better than last year's. That's what I'm feeling right off, fresh off the pay-per-view. Maybe, a month or two later, I won't even remember this. Who knows? But yeah, the biggest aspects of this match was, for me, Trinity, and man, like I said, she was disappointing. I actually never said this in the video yet, so let me say it one more time. She was disappointing. Her timing was completely off. Her moves were not looking crisp at all. She felt like she kept forgetting to do stuff. I guess she was trying to call stuff on the fly, and, I was expecting a lot better. Let me just put it that way. I thought she refined her talents in the indie circuit, or maybe when she was, I guess she just wrestled in Impact, right? When she was there, I thought she was a lot better, but no. I gotta say, she was actually bad. Putting it out there. I was kind of disappointed. But hey, she's married to Jimmy Uso. She's always got a spot in the company. I mean, with the way things are going, Vince McMahon is out of there. Back in the day, like Michael McGillicuddy, we thought he would never leave the WWE just because his father was a legend, Mr. Perfect. And yeah, back in the day, if your father was like a legend, if you were a second or third generation superstar, you were in the WWE forever. That was the thought process. But in the last couple of years, everything has been changing. Like I said, Vince is now out of here. Stephanie is no longer in here. There's no McMahon at the top of the WWE or in any important position. If we discount Triple H, I guess we would call him Levesque and not McMahon, which is insane. So, even though she's married to Jimmy, I don't know if that really does anything at this stage. And Yeah, whatever. Yeah, like I said, Jordan Grace was awesome. Her entrance was a surprise. Everything she did was awesome. Honestly, she might have earned herself a job, a future opportunity in the WWE. And I've seen her wrestle in AEW, and again, I don't think she was used to the best of her abilities, especially putting her in there with Britt Baker. I think they had some sort of disagreement maybe backstage, especially during the match too. That was obvious. So here, I thought she was awesome. I really did think she was awesome. I think she's a great fit for the WWE. And I think one day we're going to see Jordan Grace back in the ring under the WWE umbrella and away from TNA, which is an interesting relationship, by the way. The one thing we can say about this, that they got the title again. They did it last year with Mickie James. They are showing TNA. They're showing Impact. That means they really don't care. They really don't think TNA can be a threat at all. So much so that they're like, okay, yeah, come out here with the title, whatever. We need a spot. Anyone can, like, if anyone can come for the Women's Rumble, it's good. You know what I mean? We need all the numbers we can get. Anyways, Asuka came out here. See, like, this little stuff really was missing, and they didn't execute on that. So, really, Bayley, Asuka, Kairi Sane, the whole damage control gimmick, they really didn't, like, do anything with it. Kairi and Asuka sort of, like, awkwardly got eliminated, and it was like, oh, man, oh, shucks. That was it. You know what I mean? I love the result that the Bayley was the one to win this, but other than that, man, there was like all of the small details were just not there. I told you about the waiting between the spots and all that. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I don't know if this was planned or not, but this was awesome. Everybody memeing it to high hell, giving like a Spider-Man photoshops to this moment. This was great. This was definitely a standout moment of the entire night. Kairi made it count, man. Made her moment count for sure. This was awesome. Like I said just a minute or two ago. It's a great bump. She got eliminated greatly. Like, you could really see who is a good wrestler or not by the way they got eliminated. Because some people, oh man, like Maxine Dupree, no disrespect to her. I actually love her. She looks great. I think she has a great attitude. I think she has a great future. But she's really, really green right now. But like when she was, thrown up the top rope, it looks so awkward, you know what I mean? But this was awesome. This was one of the best spots of the entire night. And then, yeah, we just had a lot of names. At least this was something unique. They did something with this tag team. It was nice when Doudrop or Piper Niven, like, fainted or faked us out. Like, oh, I'm going to drop you. Nope, I'm not going to drop you. I'm just kidding. That was a nice moment too. Provided that I still remember it. Xia Li came out there. Fair enough. Yeah, let's just take a look at all the pictures. Nia Jax came out there. Again, now that I look back at it, this Rumble was definitely better than the men's Rumble because you just had more stuff happening. Not just like crazy moves, but like, little story stuff, little character moments. There was a lot more of that there. Becky Lynch came in and she really didn't make an impact. Besides her entrance, she got a decent reaction because of the name. But yeah, I don't remember her doing anything in the match and she got awkwardly eliminated. And then this is something I really don't enjoy either, both in the men's Rumble. Like, we're at over number 20 at this point. And here, I would expect things to get serious. Because, again, we're at number 20. We're coming to the end of the match. We're coming to number 30, which you should make that a big moment. But in both Rumbles, Liv coming back number 30 was okay. People were expecting AJ. I was expecting AJ as well. Or, Sasha Banks. Anyone, really. Liv wasn't a bad choice. Her attire was crazy, let me tell you that. But yeah, we'll get to Sami Zayn in a moment as well. But yeah, like, keep this stuff before 20. Keep this stuff at the beginning of the Rumble because I think psychologically, the more closer to the end we get of the Rumble, the more we want to see it get serious. We want to see the stakes get higher and higher. It's kind of like, when you play PUBG or any other Battle Royale game, the circle closes, right? And it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. That's the feeling when you're getting to number 30. So like, say you're playing PUBG again, you have your teammates, and circle is getting really small. Yeah, right? As small as it can be. And your teammates are goofing off instead of taking it seriously at that critical moment. You might laugh or you might get angry because, like, holy shit, you know what I mean? The simple point I'm trying to make is when it's to the end, it feels like this should be taken more seriously. And when you're not taking it seriously yourself, I'm talking about the WWE and the writers and the match itself, why should we take it seriously? You know what I mean? So that's my gripe. By the way, MVP of the match, I thought, if I can remember her name, Alba Fire. Her mannerisms, her facial expressions, the way she did the moves, sold the moves. I mean, she was amazing. She was kind of, I guess, underrated, but she's an MVP, man. I know she has a thick Welsh accent. That might be the only thing that might keep her back a little bit, but I think she's an amazing wrestler, and I really think she has huge potential. I'm glad she's on the main roster now. Honestly, like, off of the modern woman, Bailey is my number one, and Alba Fire is pretty much up there, maybe up my top 5. Like, she's really, really good. I dig her style. I dig her entrance too. She's really cool, so I wanted to give her flowers here too. I mean, the Archer spot, was it funny? Yes, but I'm kind of salty about the fact that you did all this work with the Judgment Day to bring them to a certain level. Sure, they weren't the greatest of all time, but man, with R-Truth, it's like, you're just dragging him down. I'm not saying his segments are not funny. I'm not saying I don't like R-Truth. I love him, as a matter of fact. He's great. And he's like old as F, and he's still super athletic and super funny. But you're dragging people down, so I'm kind of salty about that. And again, like, we're over number 20 at this point, and you're goofing off. Whatever. Who got eliminated because of R-Truth? I think it was Xylee. Was it? Someone. No, the Viking Raider girl. Sarah Logan. I can't even remember her Viking name. But yeah, this was, it was still a moment. But like I said, I would appreciate it if it happened earlier at the Rumble. Anyways, I wasted too much time. God damn it. Let's go ahead and, round this up, man. This was perfect. I got nothing negative to say about this. This was not only what I expected, it was way above what I expected. Jesus Christ. Something just fell. Hold on, let me check that. Okay, we're all good. It's nothing crazy. It was just some of the, what do you call it? I set some of the dishes kind of in a finicky way, and they rolled towards the sink, but it's okay because, yeah, whatever. We're all good. Just like Jade Cargill was at the Royal Rumble. I mean, she looked awesome. She moved awesome. 10 out of 10 performance. The reaction she got, like, she might have been the only real star in the entire Rumble. Like, obviously, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but tonight or last night during the Royal Rumble, she was on another level. And besides what WWE told her to do, her spots and everything, I really like that even when she was doing a simple kick, she would throw it all. Even when she got drop kicked, she would sell it like crazy. She was in the moment and she was giving it 100%. It was easy to see. And man, she looks like a star, walks like a star. And yeah, if you're going to put her in the Rumble, this was the perfect number to bring her in. This was the perfect way to do it. Maybe you could have had a Braun Breaker effect where she eliminated a crazy amount of people as well. But yeah, other than that, honestly, I have no complaints about this. This, again, just making this Women's Rumble kind of much more entertaining. And then at the very end, I think this was 29 or something, Tiffany Stratton came in there and she showed off her abilities, man. I still don't understand why they made her lose to Becky Lynch, but you know what I mean. Knock on wood, she does some crazy stuff. If she doesn't get herself injured, I'm sure one day she's going to take her revenge from Becky. But yeah, she's incredible, man. She's incredible. And then we had Liv Morgan with the craziest attire. I don't know the name of this wrestler, but she was a TNA knockout. And Liv Morgan's attire at the Rumble really reminded me of her. But yeah, she wasn't a big factor. Well, she was in the last three, but you know, the last three didn't last too long. And I got to give praise to that too. Becky Lynch, not Becky Lynch, but Bailey lasting for a long time. And then this elimination was super quick. Jade gets eliminated, not in a ridiculous way. It's a believable way. They were, both trying to eliminate Jade at the same time. So she was doing 2-on-1 thingy. And then, she's trying to get back to her senses. And another, I can't speak. Out of nowhere, Liv Morgan with her finisher drops her out there. And then just in 1 second, Bailey pushes Liv Morgan out of there. So, you can't even process the fact that Jade Cargill just got eliminated. It's a very sneaky thing to do. Triple H has been doing stuff like this, even with CM Punk's return, with all the teases and the non-teases, and Randy Orton returning first, and then CM Punk returning. That that right there and this right here, the elimination we're seeing, is maybe the hallmark of Triple H and his booking. Is his sneaky style, should we call it? So yeah, it looks like it's been 15 minutes. This is pretty much a podcast. Feel free to just alt tab and play a game while you're listening to this, because I think we're gonna be here for a while. Because let me say this about the Women's Rumble, and I can move on. This was good. Like all the spots, all the entrants were good. We had cool moves, cool moments. The right person won in the end. The ending was also nice. And I'm overall satisfied with this Rumble. I only wish there were more spots. It was more planned out. Just so we could have seen more moments. Doesn't have to be necessarily spots. But yeah, that's it. And Naomi was also, not a great start, man. Not a great start. I don't know. It might only be me, but this was true my observation. Let me know down in the comments. What did you think of the performance of Naomi in her return to the WWE? But yeah, Bayley winning. Awesome. No problems about that. Then the second match of the night was not this, it was this. The Fatal 4-Way for the WWE Championship. I mean, last year, or maybe a year before that, Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins was a thing. And you knew when it was the first match in the card that some shenanigans was going to happen. And in this one, nothing really crazy happened. The match itself was good. I mean, Fatal 4-Way. The one thing it guaranteed was nonstop action. So that was exactly that, man. You just had, cool move after cool move, cool moment after cool moment. No problem with this match. It was very fast-paced. Yeah, can't forget, AJ is awesome, man. You can always tell if a wrestler is great or not by how they sell a back body drop. And as you can, I'm sure you remember this back body drop. It was good. Yeah, the match itself was also pretty good. I thought LA Knight would have gotten the pin, or he would have gotten pinned by Roman Reigns, but it was AJ, and I still do not know how he managed that bump right on the top rope, because for those of you who've never felt an actual wrestling ring rope before, the one Solo is holding right now, I don't know. I got this like wooden table right now that I'm doing the recording on, right? It feels just like that. Like you would think it would have some give, but honestly, it's straight up metal. And like AJ landed on, this small piece of metal with his chest. Oh, that must have hurt like hell. That immediately he had to get up and take a bump for the spear. One thing I didn't actually enjoy was LA Knight and Randy Orton getting stacked, because, man, sure, the referee was down, but it still kind of looked unbelievable. It's like LA Knight was on Randy Orton for 20 years at that point. Like, what was he hit with? Like a nuclear bomb that he cannot get up or not even move an inch? We need those little details, right? You could have set this up maybe faster, maybe in a smarter way. Because like AJ what was he doing? He took a chair, I think, and it was like, oh, let me look around the corner. Let me take all the time in the world to do what I got to do. Or it might have been Roman with the chair. But the point is, yeah, this could have been definitely handled better. But at the very end, when AJ hit him with the elbow, as you can see here, and tried for the pin, that was an exciting moment. It was an exciting moment. It was a nice false finish. Obviously, no one ever thought that Roman was going to lose. Maybe Heyman did. Heyman is amazing. We don't have to say anything about Heyman. Everybody knows his deal, right? But yeah, one thing I gotta say, the best spot of the match, bar none, was the spear to RKO. It's been done before by the same exact people, and every time it's been done, it's great. Roman Reigns gets up there. Roman Reigns might be one of the best sellers in the WWE. And I don't think I'm being ridiculous, because this is not a new opinion that I've garnered from watching this match. I've had the same opinion forever now. Like, he's always been great at selling his opponent's moves. And one thing that I, took note of is like, oh, this is a main event for the biggest championship of the company. And look at the shape of all of the guys. Roman Reigns kind of gets an excuse, but I don't know. Because Randy just came back, obviously he's going to be buff. LA Knight somehow is buff. AJ Styles just came back, he's going to be buff. Roman Reigns has been wrestling, sure, but he wrestles like every 3 months, so why isn't he buff? That's what I'm thinking. But even with this small schedule, I guess, it's really tough to come back to his 2021-22 return, like when he first returned with Paul Heyman. Like that Roman Reigns was awesome. I wish we could see more of that physique. But yeah, it was nice, man. It was nice. Like it really does add to the whole presentation, the whole aura of the match, and makes it seem more prestigious because like these beasts of a man are going against against each other for this championship. It makes it bigger, larger than life, which is what you want to get with wrestling. But yeah, I was pretty pleased with this match as well. Like, I mean, of course we knew the results, so we gotta kind of forget about that, turn a blind eye to that. And if we do, I think this was a pretty fun match. This one was also pretty decent. Definitely loved Logan's attire because the gold yellow I think it was a lot better. The golden color. Instead of like that really bright yellow that I use for my thumbnails, It looked cheap. It looked like plastic. But this actually looks a bit more prestigious. It looks a bit better. I liked Logan's attire here. And I'm just noticing the detail now with the American flag on his vest. Of course, he's the United States champion, so that's a nice touch as well. His headband came off in like the 10th second. That was kind of funny. I mean, the match itself, I don't really remember anything from it. I remember this. He just got so high up there. Like, Logan seems to have springs on his bottom of his feet or something like that. A Macho Man is watching this match, by the way. I don't know if you noticed. But yeah, he can just jump so high. Not only in this situation for leapfrogs, anything that requires jumping, Logan is your man. He can get very high up there, man. I don't know how he does it. But yeah, other than that, let's see if these pictures jog my memory. Oh yeah, he did the Nikita Lyons finish, the Melina finish, or Alicia Fox, whichever women's wrestler you would prefer. Some unique moves like the submissions as well. It's always nice to see what Logan is gonna pull off in the matches because usually whatever he does, he's probably doing it for the first time ever, at least on camera. So it's cool to see. Yeah, he was doing a lot of European uppercuts too, and I thought that they looked nice. The frog splashes looked beautiful by both men, although Logan missed his. And this was nice as well. Like again, Logan just milking the spot. Yeah, you say I can't suplex him, watch this. And then he gets suplexed himself. Great. That's how a heel should act, you know what I mean? And like he also wasted time, right? Which makes sense at that point where Kevin Owens reverses him and does his suplex gimmick that he does every match. The ending though, everything but the ending was great. Here's why I don't like the ending. This point is great as well. I mean, Kevin Owens turning the tables, hitting Logan Paul with not the thumbtacks, but the power of the punch, let's say, put it that way, brass knuckles, there you go. And then the referee, the freaking WWE referee that doesn't see anything at all. If the world was ending, it was 20,000 asteroids were coming at the earth, the referee would be blinded and would not see anything under normal circumstances. But somehow, in this match, in this specific moment, billions of years after the Big Bang, like everything led up to this, the referee freaking saw the brass knuckles out of nowhere. I don't like that. WWE has been doing that for years and years, and it's never gonna change. But I still don't like that. It's lazy. It is lazy. Completely lazy. Because we've seen many times that the referee misses even the most obvious stuff. Like what? Someone's, shouting at you, you're the referee, and you get distracted by that even though you've been doing this job for like 20 years. You don't realize, they might be cheating now. You're not smart enough, but you're smart enough to see this. It was a cheap way to get out of it. Either have Logan win or have Kevin Owens win. You know what I mean? Or if you're going to cheat or if you're going to do something like this, it should have been done smartly. Like I loved, it was World's End. It was one of the only good things about World's End. How they got out of the situation of Kill Switch, Christian, and Edge, right? Like, what are they going to do with the contract? All that BS. I thought it was going to suck. But the way they got out of that was so smart that I had to shut my mouth and give them their kudos because it was very nicely done. If they have done something like that here too, it would have been cool. But like I said, I think it was kind of lazy. But so, I mean, it's the ending of the match, so it kind of soured me on the whole thing. But yeah, then Kevin Owens beat him up. kind of too late, you know. Logan was bleeding from his shoulder, from his nose, from probably his mouth, and then he was using that tissue. Look, I like the fact that Kevin came out there, down there, and like took the tissue away as well, threw it away. It was a nice little touch, but yeah, this wasn't a great match, man. I mean, great ending. Let me fix that. It was a pretty fun match. Ending could have been a lot better. Now, here it is, the Men's Royal Rumble, the main event of the evening. And we started off with Jimmy and Jey Uso. Speaking of missed opportunities, this is basically all they did. Until number 3 came out, they just kept fighting. And then they sort of completely forgot about each other. Literally completely forgot about each other. Yeah, like, I think Braun Breaker eliminated Jimmy, right? And then Jey Uso kept on going, but like, again, is this the same WWE that did every Royal Rumble basically up until like 2016, 17? Like, what's going on here? It felt so unorganized. Like, it felt so last minute everything and so kind of empty, you know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't you build more on this, on the match? Like, this could have been easily the story of the entire match. But no, after number 3 came out, they kind of stopped. And then number 4, Andrade came out. And this was like the only great entrance, or like a very surprise entrance of the match. I mean, we all knew Andrade was coming to the WWE anyways, but it was still nice to see him. And the fact that he was so early on, it was nice. He has a new theme song. I have to listen to it. I love this song in AEW. I think it was one of the better songs in the entire business of wrestling. So I gotta listen to this one as well. And I wonder what Zelina Vega will do now. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, one thing I'll give them kudos on is that, yeah, the Hispanic wrestlers, they kind of had a moment with Carlito and Santos Escobar. At least, you know, they acknowledged each other when they did a couple of moves to each other at the very least. I think all Carlito did to Andrade was to punch him, though. They could have done a face-off. Anyways, yeah. I mean, yeah, I can't even. Grayson Waller, I'm drawing a blank. He came out there, whatever, let's continue. I mean, yeah, seeing Carmelo Hayes and a couple of other NXT superstars was cool as well. I love his springboard cross line. It's one of the better looking moves. Yeah, let's just continue. Yeah, this I thought was also WWE dropping the ball. Like, Karrion Kross may have had his only good segment in the main roster ever last SmackDown. So build on that momentum. That's what I said, right? If you look at my last video, I think that's pretty much what I said. Build on this momentum and we can have something here. And what they did at Karrion Kross is he came in there and he did a couple of cross lines. He didn't even do his finisher. What is his finisher anyways? And then he got eliminated by Bobby Lashley or something. I don't know. He got eliminated without even eliminating one person. And we're supposed to take this guy seriously. Like, what are you doing? Have you never booked a wrestling show before? Bobby Lashley as well. Bobby might have eliminated somebody. I don't know. He did a couple of spears. Not all of them were good. Some of them were great. But yeah, this was so underwhelming. Now, I get it. You're trying to set up the Kross and Bobby Lashley rivalry, but like, look at Bobby Lashley, man. You should eliminate somebody. At one point, you built this guy up to beat Brock Lesnar, right? He was on that level at the very least. And now he just gets eliminated, very dry. And I don't even have to open my mouth. Like, go back to this, right to this moment where Bobby Lashley gets pulled down or eliminated by Karrion Kross, and listen to the crowd. Listen to the crowd. Or you don't have to listen to it. Listen to the sound of this video, okay? Listen to the audio of this video in the like upcoming 3 seconds, okay? Here we go. I think that was like 3 seconds. So that 3 seconds was the reaction of the crowd. They literally gave no reaction. That means you messed up. And yeah, they messed up. When the Street Profits came out, at least they got a bit of a reaction. But yeah, like, what are you doing, man? Triple H has difficulty booking legends, and it seems like big man too. But maybe we'll see. A year from now, I'll have a different opinion. Oh yeah, Cody came in there at 15, I believe. I'm not too sure. Dominic came in there again. He did absolutely nothing, which for Dominic it kind of worked. Okay, like Dominic just chilled, did a couple of punches, tried to run away for most of the match. Braun Breaker came here, and I think Braun Breaker was one of the only guys that was booked correctly, the way it was supposed to be. He eliminated a lot of people. But again, this felt like a house show quality match and not a big Royal Rumble, insane stuff happening. Everything is so cool. You cannot take your eyes off of it type of match like it used to. Maybe it's nostalgia speaking, but yeah, like the 2000s Royal Rumble, the Royal Rumbles in the early 2010s, like those were awesome, man. Those had like a grand feeling. This just didn't have it. Yeah, Omos might have came out here for his last match ever too. That was the thing. And yeah, just Braun Breaker eliminated everybody. Now, this was also weird. Now, I appreciate the fact that, oh, these guys are wrestlers. Who am I to even step up to them? And I think it was Omos and Braun Breaker or something like that. So he basically said, no, I'm not doing this. And he jumped out. I'm talking about Pat McAfee here. But we know he can wrestle. He literally had a one-on-one match with a wrestler, with Adam Cole, with Austin Theory. He could have at least done his backflip. He could have taken one bump. The theory that Strider 2 Wrestling came out with Clint while I was doing the watch party with him was that Brock Lesnar was supposed to be here in the Rumble. This was his spot, but since the controversy, they took him out of the show entirely and kind of slapped this segment, this spot together. And so that's why Pat McAfee didn't even take a bump, because he was probably not even trained. He doesn't want to take any risks. He doesn't want to get injured. Something like that, because why on earth would you waste this? Like, at least, I don't know, get anybody. Get Akira Tozawa out there. Seriously, get him out there. Instead of Pat McAfee, if he's not going to do absolutely nothing. Now, I appreciate the fact that, like, we had another announcer come in there, right? When is the last time this happened? Maybe it was like 2011 and Michael Cole or something. Even then, he did something. Like, I think he got eliminated by Karma or something like that, but he took a bump. He did something, physical. Yeah, it was interesting. I don't know. Like, yeah, I wanted to laugh at this, but at the same time, I was like, you're wasting another spot. And again, this was pretty, like, late at the match. It wasn't at the beginning, right? And then again, we have R-Truth come out. This was number 23, I'm pretty sure. Again, like, we're at the end of the match, man. We're supposed to be getting down to the nitty-gritty, the important stuff. And then you have this goofy segment. We should be at the beginning of the Rumble. I'm not going to repeat myself one more time, so we'll just continue. Yeah, CM Punk came out there, and our consensus was with Clint was that, yeah, sure, he did training. We saw it on, like, YouTube. He did publish a video about it. WWE did publish a video about it. He did training, but obviously he didn't do enough training, or maybe he's just too old, or maybe the crowd being there, he, like, insane amount of adrenaline kind of drained him. But especially at the very end, Punk was just taking his time with everything because he was so freaking gassed. And when you look at what he's done, he hasn't done, he doesn't do too much in this match. So it's kind of worrying if he does a one-on-one match. I wonder how it will go. Then again, he doesn't have to rush everything. I think we will still have a good match with Punk. Whichever match he does, we'll get to it. The speculations in a little bit. But don't expect like a 5-star, 6-star classic. Storyline-wise, the facial expressions, the callbacks, the poetry and all that stuff, right? That'll be good. And that's really the important thing. But like action-wise, physical action-wise, CM Punk seems to be a bit limited, to say the least. Yeah, his hair was like gone. One of my friends made the comparison of him being like Tony Stark at Avengers Endgame. He really looks like Tony Stark at Avengers Endgame. Like, he's old too. He's at the end of his role, like the final run kind of thing. So, I mean, it fits with Tony Stark too, because, Tony has a great, mouth, pause. Like, he can really speak. CM Punk as well. And that's what carries them both. And yeah, it's really similar there. But this was interesting, man. This took a long time. About 20 minutes, we had the final four. Then Gunter was there. Gunter got eliminated. And then the final two, these guys wrestled for a bit. Because again, every time CM Punk did a move or took a move, he had to lay down there so he can take his breaths and not be gassed. And yeah, Cody won, man. At the end of the day, let's cut to the chase. Cody won. And CM Punk at least did one GTS to Cody. That was better than nothing. That's another thing about the Royal Rumble. Yeah, like not everybody did their finisher. In fact, feels like barely anybody did their finisher when they came in the Rumble. Like nobody did the, oh, I'm in the Rumble, I'm getting in, it's my number now, let me give everybody a big move. I was like, here's the cross line. Oh, you're here, okay, come here so I can give you a move. Like, you know, in the old Rumbles, guys would get in there and somebody would be there to feed for them and they would do a big move, and then somebody else would come in there, they would do a big move, and it would just keep on going and going and going and going, and like we would have this awesome barrage of momentum, and once that was cut off or done, we would already be counting down for the other number. That's the problem that I've been trying to convey to you guys. Like somebody would come in there in these both Rumbles, in both women's and men's Rumble, and this has been happening for a couple of years. They do their stuff and, oh, okay, these are all my spots, they're over. And then we would wait. Like they're just punching stuff. They're just, you know, doing filler stuff, passing the time. That's, I don't know why they do it a lot in the last few Rumbles, but they shouldn't. That's all I'm trying to say. Anyhow, Cody Rhodes won, man. Cody Rhodes won. He didn't come from number 30 this time. Sami Zayn did, and that barely got any reaction too. And that really bummed me out as a viewer. Like, couldn't you put anybody else there? Anybody else there? I'm not sure. No disrespect to Sami Zayn. We love Sami Zayn here. The Cara Valentine channel. Like, man, NXT Evolution, I watched him there and I was a big fan from that day on. But he was not the right person to put at number 30. If Rey Mysterio came out at number 30, which he was on the poster, but he was nowhere near in the pay-per-view, like he would have gotten booed, like he got booed, you know? Like it was just the spot, not the person. That was the problem. Anyhow, man, like let's get back to Cody winning. And I feel like this is a turning point. This is a history-making moment because I don't know what it was for John Cena. I'm kind of a bit young to remember what finally got the fans to 100% turn on him and start the, you know, Cena sucks movement. I remember it was another Royal Rumble for Roman Reigns that started it. I think it was 2014. When Daniel Bryan got eliminated, holy moly, the crowd got so much on Roman Reigns, and they had to fight years and years. And they didn't actually have to fight. If they turned Roman heel, this would have been solved years ago. But yeah, they fought against the crowd, man. And yeah, the crowd turned on Roman at that point because it was pretty obvious that the WWE, the entire machine was behind him. And whether you liked him or not, and which many people didn't like him, even though he was talented. I always thought he was talented. I always thought he was a great seller for years. He was a great wrestler in general. Needs a bit work on promo, but like everything else, Roman's got, man. He's got the size, he's got the look. That's all. That's what I always thought. Back in the day with Cena as well, I caught the tail end of it. Like I started watching this wrestling stuff back in 2008, 9. I was angry at Cena for burying Nexus, right? So I got to catch his like last mutant era where he, like Super Cena era where he was beating everybody. But even then, I was like, oh man, this guy's incredible on the microphone. He definitely has something in the ring. Just like Roman Reigns. And just like Cody Rhodes. These guys are talented. They are awesome. And they are deserving of being the face of the company. But the way you're doing it, the way you're forcing it down everybody's throats, pause, that's not the way to go. That's not the way to go. See, the very first question I asked in the beginning of this podcast, let's say, because this is long enough to be a podcast at this point, was simply, is Cody Rhodes overrated? And to that, my answer is no. I think he's a great wrestler. His promo needs to be a little bit more natural, but at this point of his life and career, I don't know if he can make that switch now. Because it always feels like he's doing another Hollywood TV show when he comes out there and does a promo. Like everything seems so rehearsed and not from the heart. LA Knight, talked about him making mistakes, especially when he started, well, not started, but when he starts in general to talk really fast and gets hyped up. Like he does a couple of mistakes, which are not perfect. And if he does them too much, it kind of gets on my nerves. But at the very same time, I like it better than Cody Rhodes' promos because of those mistakes. Because that shows me that he's human. That shows me that whatever he's saying is genuinely saying it. Even though Maybe that's not the case at all. But you need that authenticity. And I think that's the one thing Cody lacks. In the ring, I think is awesome. His entrance is awesome. His music is awesome. His gear, everything about him is awesome. Maybe not the neck tattoo, but we'll forget about that. Heck, the guy even has a cool dog, man. But the way he's been booked, that's the problem. That's the problem. And in the United States of America, I've seen a lot more support for Cody. A surprising amount of, shocking amount of support for Cody. Like, in comparison to any other company, and more specifically, Turkey, for example. It's my mother country, or however you say it in English. And like there, people like Cody, don't get me wrong, again, but they don't see him as this greatest thing of all time, especially because of the way he's been booked. You look at the, what was it? Survivor Series War Games. Randy Orton comes back, RKO's everybody. But who gets the pin? While doing nothing, basically, just staying there? Cody Rhodes. Why does he get the pin? He wasn't the one that RKO'd JD McDonough out of midair. It was Randy Orton. But Cody gets the pin. Cody is at every cover. WWE 2K24 cover. The entrance of the show, the intro, in other words. Cody, literally, his face is everywhere, even though he's not even the champion. Right? And then what does he do? He loses to Roman Reigns a year back. And after that, every single week, he just wears a suit and does the same politician shtick, right? He literally is a politician, dude. He's a perfect politician. Like, if he ran for office with this gimmick, I think he can easily become a president. He just comes out there and says nothing for weeks and weeks and months. And then he feuds with Brock Lesnar. And he kind of buries him because he beats him easily with a broken hand. Okay, you just beat Brock Lesnar with a broken hand. Like, what else? He's done. Brock Lesnar, like, you're going to have to build him back up again. Anyways, after the news and the allegations and Vince McMahon being out of the company, you might not see Brock ever again. So let's leave it there. What did he do after that? He beat Dominic, I think. And then he beat Shinsuke. And now he's going to beat Roman Reigns. That's your great comeback? Like, I love the fact that, sure, he hit rock bottom. Great. Now your heroes at the rock bottom, little by doing amazing things, they're going to climb all the way back up and meet this challenge one more time, and this time he'll go through it. But again, besides beating Brock Lesnar, and even that wasn't really done tastefully, Cody, he did literally nothing. He literally did nothing. But it's very obvious that he's getting this preferential treatment like Roman Reigns did back in the day. We gotta make Cody Rhodes look strong, brother. The same treatment that John Cena got. And Cody Rhodes is kind of a scary person because I feel like he is a very shrewd negotiator and a ruthless politician backstage. Like, backstage politics, I think Cody is insane. Even like when the goofy stuff with R-Truth was going on, like that's politics right there. While they were doing the goofy stuff with R-Truth, Cody was just at the corner. It was just like selling stuff. Oh, no, I'm not even here. Don't even involve me with this shit, you know? Don't even have my presence close to this segment. He's so sneaky. He's so sneaky. Like, he seems supernatural, or not natural, but neutral. He isn't. He's just really good at masking it, man. He's really good at masking it. And I think that's why a lot of people who like him right now like him for that reason. And it's just another Cena. The way he's been booked, it's just another Roman Reigns. Congratulations, here he is. And some people will be loving this. Some people will be mad at this, like crazy mad at this. I cannot be. My reaction has always been, same with John Cena. I see both points completely. And I definitely think John Cena didn't need to bury everybody. I definitely didn't think we needed Roman Reigns 24/7 all the time, doing everything, never losing, nothing. Like, we didn't need that. That was stupid. And I think the same thing with Cody. He's not he's got the talent. He's got everything, I think. But he's not been positioned as the main event properly. they kind of did, instead of like going boop, 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 like step by step, they kind of picked Cody from here and then just put him up here. How, why, when, how? Screw you. Screw you for asking. Cody Rhodes is the main eventer now. He's the face of the company. Don't even think about the details. So that's like, I saw someone say, don't be a hater, to one of my commenters, one of you guys who made a comment like, oh, when are you going to talk about the overrated Cody incident or whatever? So if you see people hating on Cody, that's going to be the reason. It's just that he didn't earn it. People feel like he didn't earn it, and I think I agree with those people. Do I hate Cody for that? Not really. But yeah, that's the ordeal, man. Now, The Rock was nowhere to be found at this Royal Rumble pay-per-view, or PLE, let's call it what it is. Elimination Chamber, I doubt he's going to appear there either. So from the looks of it, even though I've been defending Roman Reigns and saying he's going to protect the title, defend it, and move on to even the next WrestleMania until he breaks Hulk Hogan's record, it's tough to say right now. Rock is not here. Cody is running towards that title. He's on everything. He's definitely the face of the company. The hero of our times, basically. And it would just make zero sense at this point to make him lose again, unless you have an insanely creative way of getting out of this. You've also wasted CM Punk now. His return. 10 years later, he returns at Survivor Series. And he just talks to people for a month or two. And then he goes at the Royal Rumble. Does just one GTS. Struggles the rest of the match. And then gets eliminated at the end. What are you going to do with CM Punk? I mean, yeah, I guess Seth Rollins and CM Punk is going to be a thing. But I guess get used to seeing a lot more of Cody Rhodes in a bigger, more prominent position. I think more so than ever, I think he might take that title. WWE might just be focusing on the big picture, and like 5 years from now, we're just going to look at it. Oh, remember when Cody Rhodes, fought back for a year to get back his title? That was amazing from the very bottom. Like, we're not going to remember all these details that I just talked about in this video. We're just going to remember the big picture, the big events that took place. Maybe WWE is looking at it like that. Another thought is, why did you make Cody win a Rumble back-to-back? Last year it was insulting enough because he came out at 30. Everybody knew what was going to happen, and it just happened exactly like that. No surprises, no rutting, and it was at the end of a very bad Rumble anyways. And then this year they gave him another win. It's the same problem with Cena and Roman. Like, and the guy is just doing too much. Jumping from victory to victory like he's Thanos or something, which Thanos is a great character because he's a bad guy, right? At the end of the day. Cody is supposed to be this beloved heel, but him doing stuff like this brings him more towards like the Homelander direction. And I just hope under this new leadership with Triple H being a creative, if this ends up backfiring, if the people in the United States, because again, out of anywhere else, people in the USA really like Cody Rhodes. I don't get why. Maybe it's because the American Nightmare, he has the American flag, tattoos on his neck, for God's sakes. Maybe that's why you guys like him so much. If it doesn't backfire, or never mind, if it does backfire, just like it did with John Cena and Roman Reigns and people start booing him, I hope they turn him heel. Like, they can make him a babyface, and the majority of his career, he can be a babyface. But don't be afraid to turn him heel, because look what it did for Roman Reigns. If it's necessary, I hope they do that. And I want to see a Homelander / American Nightmare anyways. I think that would be so sick. Why not? Mix in some undashing Cody Rhodes, aka some American Psycho in there. What a gimmick you have. What a championship run you can have. But yeah, Cody's basically that guy. Let's go back to high school maybe. Where you're like, oh man, I worked so hard for this math test and I got like a B on it. And Cody's that guy who's like, he doesn't study even for a second and gets like an A+. Hey guys, wasn't that an easy test? He comes up to you and he just smiles like, oh man, that was so easy. I got an A+. Yeah. I didn't even study for it. You know what I mean? I just got in there, did it in 10 minutes. Well, the entirety of the remaining roster is like, oh my God, I've been trying to study this for this test for my whole life. And I got like a C, you know? So you naturally, even if you don't want to, even if you're a good guy, kind of want to hate Cody Rhodes because of that. But anyways, those were my thoughts. I actually did not look at the lay of the land on X or any other social media. So anyone watching this, if you watch this up until this point, you are freaking amazing. Let me know your opinion. So this is going to be the question of this review. What do you think about Cody Rhodes? Do you think he's overrated? Do you think the way they're booking him right now is correct? Do you like him? Do you not? Because I know a lot of people from the USA, Canada, and United Kingdom watch me. And like I said, other audiences from other countries differ on Cody Rhodes. Some don't like him that much. What do you guys think? I'm genuinely curious. That being said, I have a Royal Rumble concept video where I talk about all of the Royal Rumble / Battle Royales and all of wrestling games. It's on the screen right now. I did a top 5 lists out of all of those. It's a pretty fun video. I suggest you check it out. That being said, thank you for listening to this Kero Wrestling podcast, I guess. I'll see you on the next one.